Polynomial values. This exercise is really about substitution. So in example 1 we've got p of x equals x to the power of 4 minus 2x cubed plus 10x plus 11, and we want to find first of all p of 3. So what that means is substitute x equals 3 into the polynomial. Wherever you see an x, you're going to replace that with a 3. So the polynomial p of x is x to the power of 4, so that becomes 3 to the power of 4, minus 2 times 3 cubed, plus 10 times 3, plus 11. And now you can work all these out one by one if you wish, or you can just type the whole thing into one line of your calculator and go straight to the answer. So you don't really need to write what I'm just writing now. You can go straight through to 68 if you wish. So p of 3 equals 68. Part B, asked to find p of 0. That's quite easy. 0 to the power of 4. So I'm just substituting into this equation. Wherever there's an x, I'm replacing it with a 0. So minus 2 times 0 to the power of 3 plus 10 times 0 plus 11. And most of those terms are going to equal 0. It's just the 11 on the end that will be left. So p of 0 is equal to 11. Part C, p of negative 2. So now we're substituting x equals negative 2. And you really do need to be careful with your negative signs. It's not a difficult question, but students make a lot of mistakes with the negative signs. That's why I'm being careful with putting brackets through all these. So the x to the power of 4 becomes negative 2 to the power of 4. Then it's negative 2 times negative 2 cubed. The 10x becomes 10 times negative 2. And then plus 11 on the end. Now if you wish, you can just type all that into your calculator in one go. I recommend using the brackets for the powers around the negative numbers. Or you can do it bit by bit. Negative 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Negative 2 to the power of 3 is negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. Then we've got 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. And then 11. Gives you an answer of 23. Just a couple of tips with that previous question, part C. Remember that if you've got a negative number to an even power, the answer will be positive. But if you've got a negative number to an odd power, the answer will be negative. So that's a good thing to remember. And also, if you're working with your calculator, you need to be careful. If you type this into your calculator, what that's going to do is it's going to square the 3 to make it 9, but the calculator doesn't realize that you want to square negative 3. So it thinks it's negative times 3 squared. So if you want negative 3 all squared on your calculator, you have to type in the brackets. Part D, sometimes they ask you to substitute a pronumeral instead of a number. It's quite easy. So p of a, all we're doing is we're substituting a for x. So whenever you see an x, you just replace that with an a. So x to the power of 4 becomes a to the power of 4. Minus 2x squared becomes minus 2a cubed. And then plus 10x becomes 10a plus 11. So that's all you have to do for part D. Example 2 is a bit more involved. We've told that q of x is equal to 2x cubed minus 4x squared plus 8x minus 3. We're asked to find p of x minus 2. That means wherever we see an x, we want to replace it with x minus 2. So q of x minus 2 is. So the first term is 2x cubed, so that'll become 2 times x minus 2 all cubed. And then minus 4x squared, so minus 4, the x becomes x minus 2, x squared. Plus 8, x becomes 8 times x minus 2, and then minus 3. Now it's a whole long process of expanding and collecting like terms. It's not really difficult, but it's fiddly and there's lots of chances to make a small mistake. So you just have to be careful. Slow and steady with this one. So the first term, 2 times this bracket cubed. So I'm going to write that as 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2, because cubed means multiplied by itself twice. Then I've got negative 4 times x minus 2 all squared. Now we know the perfect square rules. So it's a minus b all squared is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So a squared minus 2ab, so 2 times x times 2 is 4x. And then b squared is negative 2 all squared is positive 4. I've still got the brackets because this 4 here is multiplied by everything inside there. Now the next bit, 8 bracket x minus 2, I can expand that straight away. 8x minus 16, and then I've got the minus 3 on the end. So now we just continue expanding and simplifying where we can. So with this big term here, I'm going to do the 2 last. That'll be the last thing I do. I can multiply these two brackets by using the FOIL technique or perfect square rule because they're the same, they're identical. So that'll be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And then I've still got another term of x minus 2 sitting there waiting for later. Moving on to this step here, just expanding, negative 4 times x squared, negative 4 times negative 4x, negative 4 times positive 4, and then I've got these last three terms, 8x, and this will make negative 19. So now, I have to keep expanding this first term. X squared times x squared times negative 2. Negative 4x times x, negative 4x times negative 2. And then 4 times x, 4 times negative 2. So I've just rewritten what was on the previous screen. And now expanding. The 2, I'm leaving the 2 till last, expanding the other brackets first. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 2. And then negative 4x times each of those terms. So negative 4x times x and negative 4x times negative 2. And then we've got the positive 4 times each of those terms. So 4 times x and then negative 4 times negative 2. And still I've got to multiply all of that by 2. We'll get there soon. With what's left over, we've got an x squared term. We've got two x terms, so I can add them. 16x plus 8x is 24x. And then the constant terms, negative 16 and negative 19 is negative 35. Now before I expand this bracket and multiply everything by 2, I'm going to simplify what I can inside here. Just noticed I've left off a squared there. That was from that multiplication there. So x cubed, we've got two x squared terms, negative 6x squared, and we've got our two linear terms, 8x and 4x. And then we've got our other terms on the end. Sorry, that's a minus 4x squared. plus 24x minus 35. So now I can expand this last bracket. 2x cubed minus 12x squared plus 24x minus 16. And then the last step is to group your like terms where you can. There's only one x cubed term, so that's good. We can combine these x squared terms to make negative 16x. The x terms will make 48x, and then the constant, negative 16 minus 35, is negative 51. And so there's our final answer. I know it looks yucky and very messy, but it is just expanding and then grouping like terms. So the concept's not difficult. You just need to take real care that you don't make a mistake, that you don't forget a power or a minus sign. So slow and steady does it. So good luck with the exercises. Hooroo!